from the Soaries family, leader of which is sitting right here, Donna Soaries, my wife. I just want to start by saying I thank God for waking me up this morning.
Well, amen.
I've begun to tell people my confession. When I first started out, I used to say that because that's what everybody said.
But now, come on.
Having survived cancer and COVID, it has a new meaning to me. I thank God.
All right, come on.
Brother Shabazz, who almost got me killed in college. But with whom I've been real friends, legitimate friends, not Facebook friends, but real friends, for 53 years. I thank God for him. And his leadership. I always wondered how he would manage the dual roles of public official and NAACP leader. When I worked with Jesse Jackson, we used to call that being both the tree shaker and the jelly maker. But he has distinguished himself as an accountable public official and as an integral civil rights and community leader, and I respect that. Thank you for leading to the leadership. And to the entire leadership team of the Atlantic City NAACP, I commend you for your steadfastness. The fact of this breakfast, people who have come from near and far, people from every corner of the city and the county, it speaks to your collective leadership. One person can produce this. And on a Saturday morning, beyond the idea that we are finally out and seeing people in person, there are so many places you could be, but you chose to be here, and it's a celebration of what this branch of the NAACP means to this entire state. So thank you for coming. To my colleagues in ministry, Reverend Hendricks is here and others, God bless you. To all of our elected officials, those who are holding office and those who aspire to office, and all of you who do such important work in your respective vineyards, I'm appreciative of this opportunity to say a word for justice. I was the senior pastor of the First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens in Somerset for 38 years, 9 months, and 16 hours. I retired last year, but I retired from pastoring, but I didn't retire from preaching. But don't worry, I'll be at Second Baptist tomorrow preaching. This is a breakfast, and I won't hold you as long as I'll hold people in church. I know it's hard to believe, but believe me, we were on our way to church when my sons were a little younger, and well, not younger now, and it was an evening service. My oldest twin said to me, "Dad, what are you going to preach about tonight?" And I was so excited that the kids even cared. I thought I'd prolong the conversation. I said, "Well, son, what would you like me to preach about tonight?" And son number 2 said, "Dad, I'd like you to preach about 5 minutes and sit down." And son number 2 It's so good to see the diversity. Often when we talk about African American institutions or organizations, people that don't know better imagine just a sea of blackness. But the fact is, from 1909 up to and including this present day, the NAACP has been an advocate for justice, but has never been exclusive to black people. So it's good to see this diversity because it's consistent with the tradition that hails over these 100 years. Congratulations for landing this convention.
Yes.
And my respect goes out to the elected officials who saw fit to invest public funds in a private effort that will yield public funds.
Yeah.
Public funds are used to subsidize the Olympics. Public funds are used to subsidize conventions of all sorts, and so it is appropriate in New Jersey for some of our tax dollars to go to an African American convention which will benefit the whole state. As you know, I know a little bit about state government as I served as New Jersey's Secretary of State, and I watched people come and go into and out of the governor's office. My office was right across the hall, and when you work on the inside, you get a sense of things that you can't see on the outside.
All right.
So don't let anybody browbeat you, embarrass you, or cause you to feel that someone's doing the NAACP a favor. This is not a favor for you, it is the way the state does business. So I was in Philadelphia a couple years ago preaching one of those citywide revivals, and the president of the Baptist Convention, the Baptist Association for Philadelphia, which hosted the convention, was leading this effort. I was in his office, and while I was there, a young man came and asked this prominent Baptist preacher if he would funeralize his dog. The dog had died, and you dog lovers know how you feel about dogs. And so the dog owner wanted to have a proper send-off for his deceased dog, and asked the Baptist pastor, and I was just observing, asked the Baptist pastor if he would conduct the services, and the Baptist pastor said, "I'm Baptist, and Baptists don't funeralize dogs." So he said, "Well, do you know somebody who would funeralize the dog?" And he said, "Well, there's a Catholic priest right across the street, and last time I heard, I think he has a ritual that he does for pets and pet owners." And he said, "Would you call him for me?" And so the Baptist pastor got on the phone, called across the street, and the Catholic priest answered the phone. And from the conversation, it was clear that the Catholic priest was willing to funeralize this dog. And the Baptist pastor was about to write down the details to give to the dog owner. And the dog owner then said to the pastor, before you hang up, "Tell the priest I'm going to donate $20,000 to the church." So the Baptist pastor slammed the phone down and said, "You didn't tell me the dog was Baptist." Good to have diversity and an appreciation for each other's traditions. In the Republic of Ghana, the United States government has one of the most vast embassies as compared to other embassies anywhere in the world. In Italy, the embassy is a very nice, historical, picturesque complex.